Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I am finishing up the favorite film suggestion topic video, and you guys suggested some films to talk about, so I'm just going to talk about which one's my favorite, which ones I like, maybe I dislike, so I just picked some random ones from the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, this cool topic video, a little bit different than I usually do. But let's get to it, though I get to as many as possible. I tried picking the ones that I didn't do reviews on already. If I didn't pick Avengers, I already did a review on that, so just search on my channel. You could go check that out. And Man of Steel, a lot of people recommended, but I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't say if I like it yet. So, can't pick movies that haven't come out yet. But I'm, excited, but you can check out my trailer reviews to see my opinion of Man of Steel. But let's talk about the movies you guys did suggest that I haven't done a review for. First is The Dark Knight. I actually did do a review for this, but it was a while ago, so I was like, alright, I'll just tell my opinion here again. Love The Dark Knight. It's one of my favorite films. I love the Joker. Heath Ledger's performance is brilliant, and I think Christopher Nolan's vision for Batman is honestly just brilliant and a different way to look at it. So I like the trilogy and how it's different from the comics, and it feels like its own. So Dark Knight, I still try to debate which one's better, Dark Knight Rises or Dark Knight, but I think Dark Knight always wins. So Dark Knight, definitely brilliant. Number 2 is Watchmen. I love the book Watchmen. I think it's another brilliant comic book, and I think Alan Moore does a great job in it. And I always say it's meant for rereading. You're going to get a different opinion of it the first time and the second time and the third time. You're going to get a new view of it, and I think the movie does a good job. I think it's a little hollow with the characters and doesn't have as much of an effect as the comic, but I still think the movie does what it could do. And I'm actually going to be doing on Comic Frontline a whole entire series, a whole blog series on Watchmen, compare the novel to the film. So get ready for that, and I'll definitely mention when that is up. So Watchmen, you'll see my opinion of the movie there. Next is Men in Black. Yeah, I like this movie. I think it's a fun movie. I love the ride in Universal Orlando. I think it's really fun. But it's a fun movie. I love Will Smith. He's awesome action star and just awesome guy in general. So Men in Black is awesome. Still haven't had a chance to see the third one yet. I heard it was okay, so I'm guessing I'm not missing much. But I did like the first two, and it did. Like the first one, obviously. It started it all. So Men in Black, awesome. Next is Iron Man. Yeah, one of my favorite superhero movies. I think this is very hard to beat. How do you beat Iron Man? He is a character that wasn't so popular before the movie, and now he's a household name, and I always say that. So, he started it all. I don't think the Avengers would exist without Iron Man. So, fun movie. Robert Downey Jr. does an awesome job as Iron Man. One of my favorite movies, so definitely. Next is Back to the Future. It's okay. I think it's a classic. And that also was a ride in Universal Orlando also, and that got replaced by Simpsons. I was always scared of that ride, actually. But, yeah, Back to the Future, I think it's okay. It's not one of my favorites, but I've seen it a couple of times, and it's a classic, so that's what I can say about it. Next is Goodfellas. I've actually seen this about a year ago, so pretty recently. I like it. It's my favorite mobster movie, gangster, type of movie, so I enjoy it. I think it's good. I thought it was a very good movie, and I love the dialogue. Very good. I enjoyed it. So Goodfellas, definitely something you should watch. Next is Pulp Fiction. I'm not a humongous fan of Quentin Tarantino. I don't love his dialogue. You either like him or you hate him. I don't hate him because I like some of his stuff. I really enjoyed Django when I saw it in theaters, but I'm not a big fan of Pulp Fiction. My best friend's like a humongous fan of Pulp Fiction, so he even like quotes it. So, yeah, that's a little different, but he forced me to watch Pulp Fiction, and I didn't end up liking it. But, yeah, but I can see why people like it. Again, you're either a fan of Quentin Tarantino or you're not. But I did like Django, so. Next is Inception. I liked Inception. I feel like it's more of a forgettable movie, in my opinion. At least for me, it was forgettable. I saw it in theaters. I watched it. I was like, oh, cool. This is something different. I thought the visuals were beautiful. It was a different type of movie. But for me, I didn't love it. I just thought it was kind of forgettable in my mind. And you might have to watch it again to see maybe more of it. But, yeah, Inception, the first time, I felt like it was a little forgettable. And that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people do like it, though. And it is a Christopher Nolan film, and he's a very good director. Next is Psycho, classic. I love Psycho. I like Alfred Hitchcock, and I think he does a really good job, obviously, with his films and thrillers. And Psycho, I feel like, was like the first thriller, and it was good. I like Psycho. I think, again, it's a classic. That's what you can say. It's a very good classic that I think anyone should watch, definitely. Even though it's like, maybe make your kids watch it. It's like, who cares if it's an old film? I think it's, your kids are definitely people who should watch it. That way they grow up and like, you know, older films also. So Psycho, definitely great. Now we're moving to a different genre, kind of, a Goofy movie. I saw this like 10,000 times when I was a kid. So, I like Goofy movie. I love all Disney movies. But, compared to other Disney movies, I think it's a little bit on the lower tire for this. Because Disney movies, you know, I love Disney movies. So, it's kind of hard to rate that. And a lot of Disney movies are here. The Goofy movie is definitely forgettable. So, it's a good movie, though. I think you get to see who Goofy exactly is and his son. I don't know if that was, like, his first appearance or not, but I know they had a show after, so, yeah. It was a good movie. It wasn't the best, but it was good. Next is Star Trek. I actually, yesterday, just saw Star Trek Into Darkness, really enjoyed it. Star Trek, I think, is just a fun movie. I never saw Star Trek previously, and, never been a humongous Star Trek fan, but I think you can have a lot of fun, even if you don't like the Star Trek movies, with the Star Trek 2009 version, and obviously the sequel. So that's my opinion on the sequel also. A lot of fun. I just think it's, the characters interact really well, and the actors are great. You know, who knew Zachary Quinto could play Spock? Love Zachary Quinto, just saying. But, yeah, Star Trek, great. Next is Mulholland Drive. Yeah, I've seen this movie recently, and I thought it was brilliant. At first, when I saw it the first time, I was like, what is this? I like it, but I don't know why, because it's a little bit of a confusing movie. You're like, what exactly happened? So it's one of those movies you really have to go deep in. But I like those type of movies, you know, on occasion, and I enjoy those movies where you actually have to think. And I always compare that to like Morning Glories, where you read it the first time, you're like, what happened? I really like this, but I don't know exactly what happened. I think that's the best way to put it. But that's a really interesting movie if you haven't seen it. Again, I would watch it more than once, definitely, or like look up some reviews after, because it's like confusing as hell. And I still don't understand what that blue box meant. Still don't know. If you saw the movie, you understand. That blue box, don't quite understand what that meant, but next is Material Girls. I saw this like really a couple of years ago, you know, when it came out. Maybe I saw it like on demand, like right after. I didn't see it in theaters, so it had been like a year after. Big Hilary Duff fan. I was a big Lizzie McGuire fan when I was little. I think that's the first show I've ever was like a fan of, so that was an interesting fact. But Material Girls was Haley Duff and Hilary Duff. I thought they worked really well with each other. It was a fun movie. I thought it was really fun, and those two really work well together. So Material Girls, very fun. Next is Miss Congeniality. Really fun movie. I think Sandra Bullock, she has some hit and misses. I think we all could attest to that. Some of her movies are great, like Miss Congeniality. Some of her movies suck, like Miss Congeniality 2. So, I love her, though. I think when she is good, she's great, you know. So, Sandra Bullock and Miss Congeniality, such a fun movie. They shouldn't have made the second one, but the first one is a classic, I would say, in the 2000s. You know, I think it's something you should see. Now here's a movie that's not a classic. Sleepover. Me and my friend and my brother just watched this so many times just to make fun of it. It is such... I saw this in theaters too, and I think it's a really bad movie, but it's so generic as a bad movie that you have fun with it. Yancey, I mean, I don't think anyone who's seen that movie even remembered that girl's name, but Yancey, Summer Glau is actually in that movie too as a ticket holder. Yeah, we've seen that movie more than it should have been watched. So Sleepover in our friendship, we've seen it too many times. I'm sure that's a movie that you guys would just watch once. So Sleepover, not a good movie, but if you want to laugh at the genericness, watch it at least once. Pitch Perfect. I actually did not finish this movie. I like the song, and I think the actors in it are pretty cool, but I just didn't really enjoy it. I can see why people did, but I'm more of a Bridesmaids fan, I guess. So, Pitch Perfect, it was okay. Next, the last one actually is Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog. Love it. Actors are great. It's Josh Whedon. Songs I still listen to. Can't wait until the second one. Great. Yeah. So I hope you guys had fun with this. I had a lot of fun actually talking about some of these movies. I'll try to do more like this. Maybe suggest topics about this in the comments below. And I had a lot of fun doing it. So tell me in the comments below if you enjoy any of those movies, if you hate any of those movies. Tell me your favorite movies. And this is Comic Uno. I hope you guys enjoy. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Red Situations. Bye.